We are covering the patch notes today, and everyone's least favorite enemy has been nerfed into the floor. Let's go and see what else is going on. Welcome back to the channel. Let's check this out. We're going to have a little bit of recap here. The Galactic Disaster is coming out. This is going to be the new Season 1 update, the Forbidden Catalyst storyline. This is going to be pretty cool. It's going to have a brand new Chaos mode added, where we're going to have a new area to go and unlock new cards, new abilities, new equipment for the season. We're going to be building new save data in here to use it in some of the new seasonal content that uses the seasonal save data. The Nebula Distortion. We've covered a lot of this stuff in a previous video. If you want to see a fuller breakdown of this, go ahead and check out the previous video. We also have the Great Rift and the open schedule. As you can see, it's not all being released at the same time. It's going to come out in segmented points throughout the season. For instance, the Nebula Distortion bosses are going to come out one on the 12th, one on the 26th of November, and then one on the 10th of December. We also have the Great Rift here, which is going to be having two different schedules as well. One on the 3rd of November or December, and one on the 24th. Right in time for Christmas. All right, the second half is there. We also have the list of the shop stuff that we can buy here throughout the entire season. It looks like this is going to be, let's see, 5-star combatant ego manifestation currency. The Omega code can be obtained during the second supply phase, which is what we need for the dupe imprint. So it looks like the rumors of getting one on every part of every week of the shop isn't going to be true, which I didn't think was going to be happening there. But you can see we can get some pulls, we can get some currency for our characters to level them up, things of that nature. But most importantly, the combatant ego manifestation Omega code during the second phase. We don't exactly know how hard it is going to be to get all of the currency. I usually see 1,500 for a single pull here for both limited and time limited. Different currencies for the banners. I suspect that as long as you just, take part in the season, play it decently, do some bosses, do some of the new chaos modes, you'll be able to probably clean this shop out pretty easily. We'll have to reserve full judgment for when that is released there. As you can see as well, the second supply schedule doesn't happen until the 3rd of December. So if you're really worried about getting that ego manifestation code for your dupe imprint, you're going to have to wait till the start of December. Also, you're not going to have to hurry up and grind right away when this patch is released. We also are going to get some new login events for some free rewards here. Pretty typical gacha stuff here. A little bit of a mix between limited and non-limited pull currency. We're going to get some free crystals here as well. So you can choose to use it on the limited banner if you want to, the non-limited banner, or you can be a refresher and use that for energy if you so desire. Raised gifts coming back again, so we get a little bit of extra, I don't know, 10, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You get 1 10 pull for the graphical updates for the animated cards, if you so are desiring that. I actually like that how many of these we get for free. I've been able to put together quite a few builds for my favorite characters, a little bit of luck with all their cards animated here as well. We're also gonna get the Guardian of the Ark underway, which is gonna be part of the town, it looks like here. During the event period, the Guardian of the Ark event will take place where you can earn rewards based on the number of policies implemented in Ark City. And this doesn't look like it's a crazy thing. It does look like we're gonna get some things to help level our characters in certain ways here, whether it's gonna be their potentials or their different items they need to actually increase and break the level cap. You'll have a little bit of help there as well. We're also gonna have the Special Exploration Reward Laboratory 0, which is gonna take place on the 2nd or the 12th of November here, right after maintenance. It is a limited time event where you can level up your exploration archive level for the new Chaos Laboratory 0 introduced in the Galactic Disaster. So this is going to be further rewards for us for taking part in the new limited event. This is going to give us those pure white fragments as well, which is going to help us clear out that shop. Remember we talked about like each pull being like 1,200 or so pure white fragments. This is like 1,000, 1,500 for hitting different level breakpoints. This isn't the only way to get the currency. This is just going to be a nice little bonus to help you clear that shop out. We're also going to have the new event, the Virtual Tactical Simulation, where you get to go and try out Yuki if you so desire before you go pull her, so you can see her animations, you can see how she plays, you can get the combat playstyle for her non-epiphany version of her cards. I like having access to this so you can, you know, test the waters, see if you actually like the character before you go and pull for the character. This is a big W in my book. Sometimes some games don't allow you to do this. In this game, you at least get to go do that. So I, you know, give them props for that. We also have the new combatant Yuki rate up reward. We're not going to go too in depth on everything here, but they do down here officially have what the base effects of her cards are going to be. And this looks like it lines up basically with what we talked about previously. We already talked about all of the potentials for her cards. If you want to check that video out, I'll try to remember to link it down in the description below, or you can use the power of free will and click on the channel and then scroll down and look at like a video that's like, I don't know, like three behind this one. And you can go check it out. Use your own liberation, do it there. She's also gonna come with a new partner, which is basically made exactly for her. Although I don't think she will necessarily need it in some of her builds. We're gonna go through like a theory crafting or a build breakdown when Yuki is released, because I do wanna make sure that all of the potentials that we saw that were part of the leaks or the dreams, you want to say, are still there, because she has a lot of potential strong epiphany related builds where this might not be a necessity for her. This partner is basically going to give you damage bonus when you draw the equipped character's card by a card ability draw mechanic. And the ego skill is going to allow you to place cards from your hand on top of the draw pile and then draw an assigned combatant's card. So this is going to be useful to Yuki because she's got that epiphany mechanic where she gets bonuses if you draw her cards with a card draw effect, and this partner just has that in there as its ego skill. So you're going to be able to change a poor draw where you're like, oh man, I really need to activate this inspiration effect on my card, but it's in my opening hand and I don't have a way to do that, and I'm going to take a damage loss. You can just go ahead and use your ego skill here, put it on top, and then draw a card, and hopefully it's going to be the one that you want that has the inspiration skill on it. Now, we're also going to get some updates to some other stuff here, and here's the achievement log improvements. They did talk more specifically about this during the dev update, and this is just like a little bit of a breakdown. But the achievement log rewards are going to be increased. Now, this is going to affect the rewards from level 4 to level 60. And don't worry if you've already received those rewards from, you know, playing the game and no life in it like me. You're going to have all of the different rewards that you didn't gain access to because you already claimed them just mailed to you in the in-game mailbox. Hopefully this will be a nice, short and sweet and bugless process there. All right. I would like to see that, but I'm expecting this to be a lot of, they showed off like potential growth stones to level the potentials for your characters, materials to level your characters, maybe some credits as well. And I expect this to be like a nice little boost to the resources we have when it comes to working on our characters in Chaos Hero Nightmare. I know this is a very small little area in the patch notes, but it is happening during this patch immediately. I know there was a lot of questions about that, and this is a nice W from the devs as well. We also have the Basin of Hyperspace. This is going to be the second part. This is the new tower, right, that we had before. It's going to refresh, and they are also updating some of the rewards. So you can see here before, we just got like crystals and some zeronium, which is the Basin shop. It's going to have all that stuff, but in addition to that, they're adding a few small minor upgrades. The biggest one here is we're going to get some traces of memory for hitting, what is this, 12, 15, 18, and 21 stars. So if you hit 21 stars in the Basin, you're going to get 100 traces of memory, so you can go ahead and craft a piece of gear. And this should be for both the Dawn side as well as the Twilight side of the tower. So this, if you could do 21 stars on both sides, you'll be able to get like 200 of these, I would assume, because it's updated here for the star period. And then on top of that, we're going to get some potential discs, some support certificates, and some tactical certificates as well. And then for 24 through 30 stars, you're going to get some extra units, some extra credits there. It looks like a 210,000. So 420,000 if you 30-star both sides. So this is like a nice little update, you know, nothing crazy. It's not like polls or anything wild like that, but being able to have access to like a couple, you know, free pieces of gear that you want to craft is pretty nice if you're able to clear out Hyperspace Basin. On top of that, they're going to add some traveler memory archives in the Zeronium shop as well. So you're going to be able to, you know, buy some slice of cake, some chocanilla. You can also buy Richoka, the striker partner, once per account with some Zeronium as well. If you are looking into that striker partner, which is very good for some characters. We actually covered Richoka on the best 4-star partners you can use for certain characters video recently. So it's nice to see them adding that to the shop there for us. We also have some supply missions added with some seasonal EXP. On top of that, this is just going to be like defeat the galactic disaster, Kentris guy, the family head, clear Chaos Laboratory 0 phase 3, which is the new area. Phase 3, huh? That's interesting. This is going to give us some seasonal EXP. This is a big one here. Everyone was complaining about save data, yours truly included. And here's what they say. An in-game help section explaining save data storage rules has been added. Hopefully that's helpful. A guide on save data value has been added to the Chaos Infiltration Team Formation UI. Hopefully that's helpful. Details of obtaining save data now display the value of faded memories as points. Hopefully that's helpful. And this follows the notation of save rules introduced in the help section and allows you to check the total value of faded memories stored within the save data. Hopefully all of this is actually helpful. We'll be taking a look at that when we can get our hands on it after the update is live. This says that it's going to help, but once again, reserve judgment. Hopefully it's helpful. We're also going to have some new packages added. If you're a buyer out there, you can buy some new stuff. That's fine. Once a week, 3 things are added there, 3 times a week for the deluxe gift set if you want to. And then we're also going to get a paid bundle twice per account during the period of 11/12 to 12/2, $50 for 3,000 crystals and 25 signal amplification anchors. I haven't bought anything pack-wise in this game, and I honestly couldn't tell you value-wise how good this is because I haven't paid attention to buying stuff in this game yet. I'm not going to lie to you. I haven't felt the need to or the want to or the desire to. I've just been having a good old time. Now, here's some other things here, improvements and changes. We're going to try to pick out some of the big ones because you can see there's a lot to go through. We're not reading all of this. I'm not going to drain you on that. But they did say they're going to add 3 new fates with combat functions at the start of a chaos run. There's going to be one called Diligence that gains you an AP and you draw a card when you defeat a monster with a once per turn limit. There's a draw a card each time you use an ego skill. And there is something called Focus where you gain an AP at the start of your turn if your HP is below 50%. These seem fine. They seem interesting. They don't seem broken. They're also changing Rin's card descriptions to sort of mesh more well together. Between Dark Mist Blade Art and Dark Mist Stance have been unified under the Dark Mist Stance description. So it's going to read a little bit better than it did before. A lot of this stuff is talking about how certain cards were using different terminology, right? And now they're going to use the same terminology so everyone's not as confused. So this is part of that localization issue where they had like the translations using different words. We saw that with Celestial and then it got changed to Divine or whatever it's called now. On top of that, though, they're changing some other things here. They're fixing some animations, right? It's cool, man. Like the copy card reward slot when you defeat a chaos boss is changed to purple. Like, oh, cool, I guess, instead of it being blue to make it look cooler, I suppose. The cats are going to show up lower at a lower rate in the Garden Cafe. That's a travesty there. I don't know why we're doing that, man. You're really yucking my yum, man. The cats are supposed to be there. The cats give me pause. The cats give me power. And those cats are being removed. On top of this, anything interesting in here? I mean, the description for memory code has been improved to make it easier to identify the target of an ego manifestation. A lot of this stuff is just descriptions. Now, the big one here, honestly, as far as cosmetics goes, I like this one. The level requirement for getting the petite sticker from combat affinity rewards, which is useful when you're, making marks on your save data, right? You can identify different save data based on which stickers you put on them. I do that anyway. The level requirement that you're getting that petite sticker reward used to be level 20. and now it's going to be level 7. So if you're someone who, like me, wanted to put the stickers of like your 3 most characters for different save data builds when you're using those characters together, like say you had like a Tressa Mika Cassius team, I don't know who plays that, where you want to use specific save data only when you're using those 3 characters together. If you get those 3 characters to Affinity 7, you're going to unlock those 3 petite stickers, and you can go ahead and mark your save data with the 3 characters that you're using that save data combination with on each of your save data builds, which I think is kind of cool. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about doing that, but I've wanted to do that since day 1. And now I no longer need to level my affinity for all of my characters to 20, so I can have a better organizational skill in marking of my save data. So that's a pretty big one there as well. Cards with finales will now be used last during auto battle, which I didn't know was a thing because I don't use auto battle, but I can only imagine loading into auto battle and the AI just ending your turn immediately, constantly using finale cards if they're in your deck. Who cares? Now, there's some big bug fixes, which we're not going to talk about. A lot of this is things being mislabeled, a lot of things being like using the wrong sounds, or a lot of things like Veronica's card, Sir Kowalski retained its damage increase permanently when not triggered, which is kind of like maybe a little bit of a nerf if you're trying to abuse that. Not a big deal there. An issue where combatant Magna triggered an error pop-up when attacking with Magna's card after inflicting freeze. I've seen a lot of people have their game, freeze and an error out here. That's going to get fixed. That's a pretty big one if you're a Magna user. But all in all, it looks like they're just fixing a lot of like small, tiny issues like frame rate drops and things failing to show and using the wrong sounds and just mechanical stuff like that. Nothing crazy like, oh, all of these things were wrong. Now, there was a couple of things in here that I did notice where they talked about some of the final potential nodes for some characters, right? Kairon's 7th potential node related to crit damage was incorrectly labeled. Rin's 7th potential node related to crit chance didn't work properly. There's a lot of these things where they just said they straight up like weren't working in some circumstances. A lot of players and you guys in the comment section were saying like all of them were broken, and maybe it's not all of them. Maybe it was just some of the more used like hyper DPS carries that people were leveling up and investing in their potentials weren't working, because this is just like Cassius, Renoa, Owen, Scarlet, Kairon, Rin. A lot of that stuff is getting fixed up as well. All in all, it looks like it's going to be a pretty good patch. We're going to have a lot of cool stuff. If you want to see more detailed information on Yuki and her full kit, check that video out. If you want to see a full breakdown of what you can expect as far as the actual content being added from the developer's note update diary, you want some visualizations to go with that, check that video out as well. I'm looking forward to this, guys. Let me know what you think about the patch. Sorry, no camera. It was a little early today. I know this is coming out at the end of the afternoon, but it's the best I can do, guys. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.